Anyone? Yes. Okay. We have roll
Uh,
number. I just we have roll number 12 with us. Nikhil is with us or not? Sia. Yeah. Yes, Priyam.
so
Nikhil.
he was there, sir. I just saw him. So
Okay.
Nikhil was he
Roll
is
number
logged in.
16. Yeah. Pratik is here. Yeah.
Pratik is
Pratik.
also logged in.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he is there.
So
He's
is it
talking.
roll number 15 or 16?
Pratik is a 16. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, Pratik, can you just explain me something about terminal value? What is terminal value? Anything? The basic understanding. So, can you just explain what is the difference between levered and unlevered cash flow, or what is levered from unlevered cash flow? Anything you aware about this? Free cash flow to equity and free cash flow to firm.
Sir, uh, in the levered and unlevered beta, in the corporate finance, we have I have also rates, sir. But
Yeah, it has the same meaning in project finance also. Okay, meaning doesn't get changed. I am only want to know that how much you are equipped and feel yourself comfortable with this terminology when I am going to use in today's and tomorrow's session. So this was the only objective to just random call some of you to just know that what is your current understanding of this technical terms. So any views on the levered and unlevered beta?
sir, this is related to the risk component of
Okay,
your.
risk of which component? Because in a business or in a project, the risk come from the different sources. Particularly when I am saying levered and unlevered beta, then which source is active? Which source of risk we are talking?
So
Simple.
debts.
Debt component, right? But
Yes.
again, I not get the exact answer of what is levered and unlevered beta.
Unlevered is means we strip off the yeah, part, debt part,
Okay.
and yes,
Sir, can we say that when a company has paid all the debts and all the payables, account payables, then we can, and whatever is left, we can say that it's levered this thing. And when they have not able to pay the this thing and it's still in their account, then we can say that it's unlevered this thing.
You, I think, just speak just reverse.
All
For me, I believe unlevered is debt, levered is equity. The cash
Cash.
flow to equity is levered, cash flow to debt is unlevered.
levered we take into account both the debt and equity part, and unlevered we don't take into account the
That's
debt
the
part.
thing. That's a message.
Sir,
Yeah, that is fine. Levered.
sir,
Yeah.
Message.
sir,
Message.
beta is a measure of risk. Unlevered beta means when there is no debt in the balance sheet and how much risk is contributed by the only the equity of the firm. But in case of levered beta, both the debt and equity components are there, and
Okay, I will come to its detailed discussion in the today's session itself. Can now last question? Can anybody just explain what is your understanding about the terminal value? Because if we talk about the large infrastructure projects, okay, so terminal value calculation is always the challenge for any valuer. Whosoever is going to value any project, simple. The thing is that the decision of financing any project depend. I think the major factor on which my decision of lending or not lending depend, that is future cash flow which this current project is going to generate. अब future मतलब very unpredictable, 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years perpetuity, because we always assume any business is for the going concern. So at that time, the terminal value concept comes into the picture, which is also known as an exit value of the project or the continuing value of the project. So can somebody explain what is terminal value? Exit value, terminal value, continuing value of the project, all are the like same meaning. But can two question I, what is terminal value? Why we need this terminal value? How does this terminal value as a banker or financer help me to decide the lending decision? So anyone who want to contribute something towards this discussion?
Sir, with the terminal,
Yeah, number 14, Vineet is us with us. Yeah, Vineet is here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just what is your understanding about the terminal value?
Sir, terminal value.
Yeah, terminal value.
Can I try?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Sir, terminal value can be taken up as a security for the present value for a future point where considering the cash flows will be expecting a stable growth rate.
So what?
So if you are taking a terminal value, sir, for a particular project, if you are investing on a particular project, so
Okay.
we are considering a point of time in the future, and that whole time period, the
Time.
whole time period which we are considering, the
Hello.
cash flows will be having or exhibiting a stable growth rate.
More or less correct, but okay. Thanks for the try. Yeah. Anyone else?
Sir, this is Samarjit. Can I try?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, the terminal value is basically the lifetime value of the asset, and in when we are making any financial statement, there are a project for which we do projections.
Very correct.
So after a say for 5 year projections is a common thing which is done. So what is the value of the asset after the projection? That is, you can say the project end or exit date.
Because
This
yeah,
helps the lender from this angle that if for any reason the lender has to recover by selling the property, then he can actually figure out the book value and the real value of the property and figure out that what will be the there's a term of the what he can salvage out of that asset.
okay. But I think earlier you started with the right discussion, but ended up with the wrong conclusion. But
Okay.
okay, we will discuss. I just only make myself first ensure that what you all already know. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So okay. So have you just practiced the steps in the data extraction from the Prowess?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt or you anyone want to repeat the same process?
sir, if it is possible, if you can find some time to repeat the process, Jagran this said, sir.
You are saying that for the data extraction from Prowess?
Yes, sir.
Or anyone else?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. So what about the others? Yes, I
Yes,
see
I
your
have
hand.
done sir
No,
data
sir,
extraction.
majority of
Yes,
the
sir.
user
One
ID
second.
has not been activated till now from the library.
Not yet. You can directly call to them and ask them to do it on priority because it just take hardly 30 seconds for them to make it active.
Yes, sir,
Sir,
I have
we
already
have been
mailed them.
waiting
I have
now for
given
the
the user
past
ID
4 days.
also. And Jan sir has told he will activate it as soon as possible, maybe today only.
Okay, but I think that should be done because it just take like very less time to make it active. So
I have
you
extracted data, sir. What I've seen in the 50 companies which I listed in that, sir, total liabilities and total assets value is the same, sir. Can I show my Excel sheet?
obviously liabilities and asset side due to dual concept will always be same because in the balance sheet liability side is always equal to asset side. So you don't have to compare liability with the asset. You have to just compare the debt component of the liability with the asset. Obviously, due to dual concept, asset side will always be equal to the liability side.
But sir, the capital part,
Simple concept is now every debit has the opposite. Every debit has a credit, right? Every
yes, sir.
transaction has the two aspects. Sum total of debit is always equal to sum total of credit. Due to this dual concept, your assets is always equal to liability side, right?
Understood, sir. Liability and capital are the same, sir.
There are two things: total assets and total liabilities.
Yes, sir.
So total liabilities are the equity component, total liability has the debt component.
Yes,
But
understood, sir.
still, while downloading any variable from the Prowess database, you can simply type on the Google Prowess database dictionary. Okay. When
Yes,
you download this Prowess database dictionary, whatever the variable you are extracting from that database, it will show that what is its actually meaning. Matlab, while the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy Private Limited, those who collect the data for the Prowess database, because it
yes,
is
sir.
monitored by CMIE only, right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
they explain it very clearly that if you are clicking on any variable, what we have included while calculating this figure, what we have excluded. So they are very specific about the calculation. So
Okay.
when, for example, you click on the operating expenses or, for example, operating cost, so they will clearly show in the dictionary, okay, what component they have considered in the operating cost. So that makes your analysis more clear, right? You are also very clear with the things that which component you are actually extracting. So I
Yes,
think the steps in the Prowess database, everyone should be very quick with these steps, because even for this course, even the project which you are going to undertake in this project and infrastructure finance course, and in the times to come, any kind of analysis you come across, whenever you will have to take some kind of analysis, right? Few days back also I was discussing, in the times to come, uh, you may come across certain things, and in the past also, when you will have to analyze the impact of any regulation, okay, on some variable, right? For example, if you want to investigate whether the mandatory adoption of IFRS for the Indian firms is going to enhance the firm performance or deteriorate the firm performance, or there is no change of on the firm performance, if somebody have to evaluate, and any kind of other interesting question also. So you need data, right?
yes,
So
sir.
data can be well extracted from the Prowess because it provides you a very richer accounting data. So that makes this activity useful for this course as well in the times to come. So
I
I
have
will,
extracted, sir. Will I show my data, sir?
yeah, I will just once taking just 5 minutes. So I will be just repeating the same steps which we have repeated in the last session. So if any one of you have missed that how to extract the data, so please note down the points, because there are only 6 7 points. So if you are even skip one point, it will not give the end output in the form of Excel. So I am just repeating the same steps, so you can even note down in the form of synopsis in the notebook, or you can also do the same along with me. But I think only few have the user and password, so it will be problem. So you can just note down the steps, and uh, can I go ahead? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first of all, for example, we, as I told you, whenever we will have to do good analysis, the first question which your opposition can ask is about the generalizability of the arguments, right? If I am saying, okay, this happened and this impacts this. So if you are going to say this on the basis of one company or two companies or five companies or 10 companies, the big question comes, that is on the generalizability, how generalized you can make your findings, right? So in that case, we need the huge number of firms, at least listed firms, right? All the listed firms. So that's why it is always preferable that unless and until you are not analyzing a specific company, okay, if you are analyzing any big macroeconomic issue which is going to impact all the listed firms, then it is always preferable to extract the data for all the listed firms, right? Instead of doing the analysis based upon one company. Um, then first step is companies and set. Is it visible, right?
Yes, sir. Will.
Yes, bro.
Okay. Yeah, please somebody say with yes or no so that I can go ahead. So now you can see the select companies in the predefined sets, right? So in the predefined sets, when you open it, either you can extract the data for the industry, either you can extract the data for the NSE firm, either you can extract the data for the BSE listed firm, either you can extract the data for top 30 Sensex top performing. We know Sensex is like a sensitivity index of the top uh, performing in the BSE, and the Nifty is like a index of the top 50 stocks in the NSE. So you can take either 30 companies, either 50 companies, or top 100 Nifty companies. So different things are available, but for the purpose of making my findings more generalized, I am extracting the data for all the BSE listed firms. So I am clicking it here, BSE listed firms. Is it okay? So after that, if I will click on the show companies, so it will, I think something went wrong. Just a minute. So after going to select companies in the predefined set, okay, I am going to the BSE listed firms. Okay. So after clicking on the BSE listed firms, now it shows me the number of firms are 4842. Till here it is clear that how you can see that how many firms are under one listed stock exchange and everything. Is it
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
fine
sir.
with there? Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you. So after that, you can see there are currently 4800 4842 forms. So you need the data of any variable. For example, you need to extract the cash flow from operations. Okay, because as today we are talking about the valuation of the firms. So while valuing any firm, we always need the cash flow. Okay, so cash flow of the projects, of the companies, or during the last 20 years or 15 years or 10 years. So today we try to extract the data of the cash flow from the operation. So after that, I will just tell the Prowess that I need the data for these firms. So I will click send on the new OSC, which is on the right side in the corner. Is it visible? Send to the new OSC. OSC stands for the
Yes,
output
bro.
sheet. Okay, so we will click on it. Now it will process, because after processing, the Prowess will become to know that he has Prowess will have to extract the data for only these 4842 forms. Okay, all the BSE listed forms. So now in the blue it is showing queued one. Okay, after that it will show process, and then when Prowess read these 4842 forms, it will blink with the new output with the blue. Fine. Till
Sir,
here, yeah,
sir, after clicking in the BSc listed firm
yeah.
and then we click on show costs,
Show cause
then
shows companies, right? Yeah,
show companies,
yeah.
then there are 4842 number of listed companies are there on the right side.
And even you can see the name of those companies also. Can you see this one? There is a, it gives the list of all the firms, right? Name of the
Yes,
firm.
sir.
So after that, you have to click send to the new OSC output sheet. Is it fine?
Yes.
So after that, it will queue, then process. Now you can see the output is blinking with the blue. Now you have to click on it, and after
Sir,
that you have to, yeah,
sir,
yes.
when I click on the send to new OSC, there is a message displayed, error message, no data set has been selected.
Oh, then you, I think, okay, I will just tell you. Then you have to make ensure yourself that you have make it tick here.
Okay,
Can you
okay,
see
sir.
BSE listed
Yes,
form?
yes, yes, yes.
Similarly,
I
okay,
haven't tick, sir. Yes, right.
yeah, obviously, then how does the Prowess know? Okay, when you click it, it will show in the down window, right? You can see it
Yes,
here.
yes, yes,
Okay,
sir. Yes.
so now,
Now it is
yeah,
okay, sir. Yes.
now I am going to the new output because it is there. So after that, I am clicking on the continue. So now it provide me one Excel of 4842 forms. Till here, it is clear.
Yes, sir.
So now don't forget to click here. It in the top, it is written set current sheet, right? Set the current sheet. So click it here, because it means that you need the variable for these firms. So now I want the cash flow from operations of these firms for the last 20 years. So what I will do, I will go to query builder. Is it visible, query builder?
Yes, bro.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
After that, financial statement, because cash flow statement, cash flow from operations come from the cash flow statement of these firms. So I will click on the financial statements. I will click on the annual financial statements. And after that, I need the cash flow from operations. On that day, we extracted the sales. Okay. So we go to the total income and I click on it. But today I want to extract the data of cash flow from operations. So I will go to the cash flow statement. Is it visible? Cash flow statement.
Yes, sir.
So I will click on that, and the first option is net cash flow from operating activity. So when you click on it, it will show on the right hand side. Even for example, I want to extract profit after tax. So I want two figures. Okay, so all the variables which you are going to tick, it will show on the right hand side. Okay, but I will suggest you that if you are extracting the data for more than 10 years, Don't put more than 2 or 3 variables, because otherwise the file become very heavy, and when you download it, it will not it will take a long time, and system sometime got hang. So I will suggest you, uh, uh, just make restrict yourself either 2 or 3 variable at one point of time. Otherwise downloading and making it as an excel save will come sometime, it become difficult. But in order to save the time for today's, I am just removing this profit for text. I am only showing you a sample. So I just restrict my data analysis only for the cash flow from operating activities. Is it clear till here? So all the variables which you are going to tick here, it will show on the right hand side. For example, I want the sales, it will show on this. I want the, for example, uh, uh, total profit after tax, it will show. Another thing, for example, under the total liabilities, I want the total capital, so it will show. Okay. So, so this way you can just choose whatever variable you need, and accordingly you can just extract the data. But for the current session, I am just restricting myself to the net cash flow from operating activity, that is CFO, cash flow from operations. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Absolutely,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, thank you. So after that, the main point which comes, because of which the data extraction sometimes not visible in the Excel, when we put the wrong dates. Okay. Although there are different formats in the Prowess for the date, if you click on the question mark, it will show you different formats. Okay. But usually when we do the analysis, we have always the same format, that in India, the books are closed on 31st March. And if I need the data for last 21 years or 20 years, simply, for example, I need the data from 1st April, like 2000. Okay. So 2000 till 03, and I recent financial year closes is 2020-03. So is it okay with the date part, that how to put the date in the Prowess?
So can we do one thing, sir? If you want to extract data for the last 10 years, we can do L10.
Yeah, that we can do, but I will tell you also what is the reason. Because if you go to the Prowess definition, so sometimes when you put L10, it will not show the component classification. I will just make it more clear. For example, I need the data of cash flow from operations. Sometime when we put L10, it will not show cash flow, but it will show its different component. Then you will have to again plus minus and then reach to the net cash flow. Because in order to reach at the net cash flow from operating activity, we use some formula: net profit plus non-cash expenditure plus working capital treatment less taxes paid. Only then we will get this figure. So I have seen sometime if you put L10, it means that last 10 years, sometime it not show the actual variable net, final value, but it's show its component value. So in order to avoid such confusion, it is always preferable to put the date yourself instead of taking it from the set aside patterns. Is it fine?
Yes.
So for example, it is 03 and I need it for last 20, 21 years, whatever. So I will put the date like this. Then the step which you should never forget is to click here. Select domain, all companies and companies in the current OSC. So you will have to click the companies in the current OSC, because we have already informed Prowess that I need the data of 4842. The first step we did, right? At that time, you remember we click on the top, that is set current sheet on the top. So
Yes.
that makes the Prowess know that it has to extract the data for only those from. So then the process, everything is over. Then you will have to just send it to the new OS. So now it will process and extract the data for you. So these are the very simple steps. It will generate the data for all the BSE listed firm, NSE listed firm. Even you can extract the data industry wise also. Okay, for example, you need the data only for finance firms, you need the data only for the cement industry, you need the data only for the uh, iron steel industry, whatever consumer goods data. Okay, you need the data for manufacturing. Under manufacturing, you need the data for food agro business, textile, chemicals. Under food agro, you need particularly dairy products, tea, coffee, sugar. So such kind of analysis can also be done, because you need not to manually segregate the farms into different industry. It itself extract the data industry wise for you. So that is also the beauty of this Prowess. Similarly, you can also, apart from the accounting data, you can also go with the qualitative data, that who is the CEO, how many are independent, how many are independent, okay, what proportion of equity is held by the promoter, what proportion is held by the non-promoters, okay, who is the auditor of this firm, okay, whether this firm is audited by big N or not, okay, how many times these board meetings happen, whether they meet 4 times during 1 year, how many AGM annual general meeting of these company happened. So you can also extract the data, how many related party transactions they did, okay. Similarly, you can also extract the stock price data also, what is their opening, what is their closing price, what is their book price ratio, price to book ratio, what is their earning per share. So what is the enterprise value, equity value, okay, all the beta which you manually calculate in the corporate finance, you can directly extract the beta of that specific firm also, okay. So another variables, indices, stock index, Sensex, Nifty index values are given, how much capital expenditure project, merger acquisition information. So such kind of, even whether the CEO is also the chairman or not, okay, who all are the board of directors, so what is the salary of board of directors, some information they disclose, but might be some missing variable will definitely be there, who is the independent, who is the dependent. So such kind of information you can also extract from the Prowess database. So what is the company's IPN number, year of incorporation, okay. So why I am showing you, because I am waiting for the output to come. So currently it is showing processing one.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, is Prowess still the most favored tool for all these corporate finance people?